Hello Sunday people. If you can't see this beautiful looking cake in front of me, it's a 3-layered lemon cake. It's bright and fresh and zingy and utterly irresistible. The cake itself is soft and fluffy and full of lemon flavour. And that homemade lemon curd and that tangy cream cheese frosting, it's just an absolute win. So whether it's a spring celebration, an Easter edition, or just because you love lemons, we should probably get the oven on and I'll show you step by step how to make this absolutely stunning 3-layered lemon cake. Oh my God, how incredible does that lemon cake look? Let's just get into it and start getting this thing made so that it can get in the oven and we can get it all together and decorated ASAP, because I tell you what, I can't wait. So for this lemon cake, here are my ingredients. I have already pre-made my lemon curd. If you're looking for a video on how to make that, I've added the link just up here, or it's in the description box down below. We'll quickly run through what we've got here and then let's just get this thing going. Honestly, it is like, it is just zingy, fresh, yummy, delicious, all the good things. So we've got flour, sugar, milk, salt, 2 lemons, 3 eggs, some butter, and baking soda and some baking powder. All the quantities are on my website in that recipe. So if you're looking for it, click on there. If you don't want to read that, just stick around for a minute or two, because when we chuck it all in, I'll tell you the exact weights of what is going in. So the only bit of prep that we need to do is I'm gonna zest the lemons and I'm gonna mix it all into this sugar. So you get this amazing like lemony sugar that's just, you know, starting at the beginning of the cake. And I just think it just gives it that little bit of extra je ne sais quoi. And then we're gonna juice the lemons. So I'm gonna get that done. We'll mix this together and then we'll get the stand mixer out. Okay, so first things first, when you're making a cake, we need to turn the oven on. So for this recipe, we're gonna turn the oven on to 175 degrees. So we'll get that on now, so it's nice and warm when this batter is all ready to go. And just in case you've never lined a cake tin, an easy way to do it is take your rectangle, fold it in half, and make a good crease. So you folded it long ways, then fold it in half so that your seams are together here, and then onto the triangle and onto the triangle again. Scrape it all down and then measure to the middle of your tin, so it's here, and then we need to have some for the side, and that is where we'll tear off the top of the grease proof, and then crunch it all up, because this way it makes it nice and pliable. And sit it in. And there's our lined cake tin. So let's start mixing it. The oven's on and we're pretty much there. And so for this, we're going to be using the paddle. This one here is for making dough, and this one is for whisking stuff, none of which we need to do today. So we just need to use this guy. So the very first thing we're going to do is add in our 226 grams of softened butter. Let that beat for a few minutes. Add in our 350 grams of granulated sugar on a high speed until it's creamy. Probably about 3 or 4 minutes. Then we're going to scrape down on the sides with the spatula so that everything is all mixed together and looking good. So something like this. Then it's time to add in the eggs. So one at a time, add in your 3 eggs. If you need to, again, maybe give it another little scrape down. And now we're going to turn the mixer down slightly to a lower speed, and we're going to add in the dry ingredients. So we've got that 334 grams of flour, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and a half a teaspoon of salt. And when that's all combined, we can add in the milk. So in goes our 140 mils of whole milk. And then finally, the juice of the 2 lemons. In it goes. You can also add in a little bit of vanilla extract if you like, but I just prefer to go full lemon. And that is it. Our mix is done. Give it one final turn with the spatula in case there's anything that's stuck to the edge, which in my case it had, because right at the very bottom, sometimes this, because it's a bit old and clunky, maybe I'll do a service on it one day, doesn't quite reach the bottom. So sometimes some things get stuck to the bottom and don't get incorporated completely. But that is it. Now, in it goes. We're going to slightly flatten out the top, but it will always level itself out pretty much in the oven anyway. But just so there's no big bits sticking up. And that's it. In it goes. We're going to put this in for 35 minutes to start off with, and then I'll take a skewer, see where we're at. Maybe I'm going to turn it round in my oven because my oven does bake slightly hotter towards the back, but we'll have a look then, see where we're at, and then can reassess. I reckon it will probably actually take more like 45 minutes, but it's always good to check about 10 minutes before you think it might be done, just in case your oven's cooked it a bit quick. So I'll see you in a bit. This is going in. Okay, so the cake is still in. I just had a look at 35 minutes, still needs a bit longer. So I've put it on for another 15 and we will check it. While that's working is make the frosting. So, easy as this. 225 grams of butter, softened, room temp. 225 grams of cream cheese, softened, room temp. The juice and zest of 1 lemon and 540 grams of icing sugar, plus a good pinch of salt. We're gonna make this, leave it on the side, and then by the time the cakes have cooled, this is ready to go at a great temperature and we can decorate and we don't have to wait for anything. So if you've never made frosting before, what you do is add the butter. We're gonna use the paddle again, beat it until it's soft so there's no lumps. We're then gonna add in the cream cheese and do the same so it's soft. And then I'm gonna use my spatula, scrape down the edge like we did with the batter. And then we're gonna add in the sugar, mix that together, and then add in our lemon juice, lemon zest, and our salt. If it's a little bit thick, we can add a little bit more lemon juice. If it's a little bit thin, we can add a little bit more sugar, icing sugar. But it's as simple as that. So I'm just gonna make it up now. I'm gonna add in the butter and get that going first. Just quickly get in there with my spatula, make sure that stuff on the bottom gets beaten in too. And now that that's nice and soft, we're gonna add in the cream cheese and a pinch of salt. Oh, why? Every time. And then just beat that together too. And as you can see there, continue to beat that for probably 2 minutes or so until it's nice and pale. Great. Then in goes the sugar. Pop that down. And then this really is where I'm going to get the tea towel to stop it bellowing all over the place. So this is a great chef tip to stop the clouds of icing sugar. So we'll just turn it on real slow and get it working together. Once all that icing sugar is bound, you can take away the tea towel. No plumes. And here you can see, oh my God, it's like soft. Oh, it tastes delicious. You can see that it's like good and workable. This is the consistency you want, which is why it's important to have everything at room temperature. Now we're gonna add in that lemon, see how it is. If it's a little bit thin, we'll just add a touch more icing sugar. So add that all in, pop it down, and then we're just gonna work it slowly, and then we'll have a look. Oh, and there we go. Lovely, beautiful, lemony, great consistency, perfect for the cake. Oh yum, that's great. Anyway, that we can just sit to one side, and then once our cake is done and cooled, we can decorate. And there's the alarm. So let's go check the cake. Oh my God, it looks beautiful. We've got no wobble left, but let's just check it. It's come out clean. Okay, the cake is pretty much cooled. We're gonna cut it open and then it can do its last bit of cooling. Frosting is ready, and the only other thing we need, yum, lemon curd. Oh my God, this stuff. Oh, amazing. Lemon curd, delicious. Okay. So first of all, we're going to cut the cake open so that it can do its last little bit of cooling, because I think that the middle is maybe still a little warm and we don't really want to frost it if it's warm. The cake actually ended up being in for 55 minutes. So the best thing you can do is check it with the skewer, and if it's not done, just bake it a bit longer. So we're going to cut it. Now ideally, and I think we're gonna go for it. I'm gonna do 3 layers. No. This could go all horribly wrong, but we're gonna try anyway. So when you're cutting a cake, you use a long knife, ideally slightly serrated, but not too serrated because you don't want it to be too sharp. This is what they call a pastry knife, so it has slight serration, but not vicious. So the best thing when you're cutting a cake and you want to take a top off is you go in on one side and you get it in there. And then you rotate the knife from that point. You do not want to try and cut through the cake because otherwise you'll either end up breaking it, oh, little bit to try, or you won't keep it the same level. And what we want to do is keep it the same level the whole way. So rotate your knife from that point. And out it comes. Now, it is going to slightly crack, but that's okay because we'll put it back together again. So there is the first bit. I'm sure Paul Hollywood would be having an absolute nightmare over my cake right now, but never mind, it's happened. And now, as you can see, we can cut that third layer. Well, the second layer to make the 3 layers. So go halfway. So we're going to go halfway in to the cake and do the same again. Now gently work your knife round. This means you can keep it level all the time because you're not cutting through where you can't see, you're just constantly following the guideline of the knife through that middle section where you want it cut. The top half is not doing anything, the top half of the knife. So keep working your way around and then you make it to the other side. And there you have another perfect layer. Not quite sure where I'm going to put this one though. So I'm going to move that up. Just going to get another little rack out. I'm going to pop it down gently with my knife, pick up the layer and pop it on. And I'm also just going to put that last layer there because, as I suspected, this one is still a bit warm. And now assembly. So the base on, some buttercream in the middle or on the side. You want a little layer in there, all the way to the edge. Then some lemon curd. Just drizzle some in so it's a little bit everywhere. Spread it about. Next layer on. And a bit more lemon curd. And then finally, our broken roof. Let's see if we can get this on. I mean, a little bit broken, but luckily the buttercream will stick it in. And now this is where it's up to you. I'm going to put it on and lightly coat the edges so it's a little bit naked, a little bit nude, but still something there. But if you just want it on the top, then you just put it on the top. This is probably where I'm going to get it everywhere and make a right old mess, but whatever. So now you can just gently push it down the edges. I know it currently looks very messy, but we will tidy it up. So now let's make it look pretty. Now, if you've got a spatula, a great way to do it is just to run around the edge like that, and you will end up with a spare little bit of buttercream, but that's okay. And then across the top, we can just spread it out neatly. And then this is where a scraper, I mean, or you can use a spatula, it's quite handy because you can run it around the bottom to gather up any excess. And then your spatula again to make it nice and neat. This is where it takes a little bit of time. Lovely. And now let's tidy it up completely. So this is where I suggest you take a piece of kitchen towel and then carefully run your finger around the edge. Et voila. Neat and tidy. And now just for some little, what we are going to make flowers. So we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blobs. And again, we're going to make them look like flowers. And to do that, take your spoon and just pull the tip in. And then to finish them off, just a little blob of lemon curd in the middle. And then finally, we get to slice into it. It's all decorated, looking super cute with them little lemon flowers. I would say that ideally, you probably want to put this in the fridge, but we know Del, she's got no time for that. Oh my God, yum. Oh my God, that cake is soft. Oh, the texture is amazing. The taste is incredible. Oh my God, that is so good. The lemon curd in there, bright, zingy, the cream cheese frosting. Oh my God, I mean, sweet as always, but lemony fresh. This is an outstanding cake. Oh my God, honestly, that's too much. Okay, I hope that you've enjoyed this week's lemon cake. You should all give it a go. And if you do, drop me a comment. Tell me, have you made it? Did you enjoy it? And honestly, that cake, next level. Oh my God, it's so delicious. Okay, I have to go. This has to go into the fridge and I will see you guys. Okay, just one more bit. Oh, and I will see you guys next week. As always, if you are new here and have enjoyed this, then give me a like and a subscribe, and that way you won't ever miss any more recipes coming from the Dishes with Del kitchen. I gotta go. You enjoy making this fantastic cake, and I'll see you all soon. Ciao for now.